Half-Life is known to be a very intense and technical speedrun, and that is that's what makes it stand out from other games. There was some drama involved with Goknak.
Goknak was an interesting case because he was like the poster child of Half-Life 2 speedrunning.
There was definitely a fracture in the community.
Yeah, shit went down that day basically, and we never saw him again. He never came back.
Speedrunning is
an activity and a hobby of many people where people will complete the games
as quickly as possible using whatever means necessary, as long as you're not cheating.
Abusing the game mechanics and various glitches and oversights that the developers have left in the game.
The way I define it is being so impatient at a video game that you want to complete it in the shortest amount of time.
People compete against one another to get the fastest times.
So Half-Life is known to be a very technical and intense speedrun. It has a new glitch or trick every 5 seconds or so, and it's also iconic among the FPS games because it has glitches such as bunny hopping and damage boosting, which makes it stand out. SourceRuns is a group of people that came together after the Half-Life 2 Done Quick speedrun. They were intending to make a speedrun of the sequel game, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, and a small team has formed since then.
So it was July 28th, 2009. That was either the day that we all decided to make our own community and split off from the Half-Life 2 Done Quick forums, or it was the day I joined. I think it was probably the first. So it was the 3 or 5 of us. We were all working on this episode 1 run. We had our Steam chat, we had all that, and we just decided one day, hey, what if we just made our own website?
A segmented run is a special type of speedrun where
multiple people get together and try to do the same small part of a game.
And do it as many times as you want, like redo it until you get a perfect result that you desire. And then you later
combine the best times into a single video to demonstrate how fast a speedrun can theoretically be.
It's where we started. I think without the segmented runs, we probably wouldn't have been put on the map.
I would say that teamwork is pretty important.
You need to constantly share your findings or improvements. You need to provide feedback, or if you see something like, yeah, this could be improved this way or another.
There is competition when people are competing against segmented runs. I do think it's healthy. Yeah, I'd say it may not be super healthy for the person who's grinding every segment every day, because you're just gonna lose a lot of your own life to this run, present company included. But it definitely makes for a much better product if you're willing to sacrifice a lot of your time competing and competing and competing.
So what went down during Done Quicker was I was being a little shit basically. And at the time, it was me and Rama were kind of leading the beginning of the run. I was trying to get Santuarium involved because he was keen on doing segments for it, for Half-Life 2 Done Quicker. And as soon as he started with the old engine version of the game, he was really active and participating in doing segments.
Oh God. Yeah, it wasn't my best moment. It was kind of in that same time period when I snapped at Goknak. I went into Done Quicker with a good bit more knowledge of Old Engine than some of the other runners, and with that came a little bit of an inflated ego.
And it got to a stage where I felt like he'd been doing so many segments and making so many calls on the run that it was kind of encroaching on our authority on the run. And I felt like I was getting pushed out of the scene almost.
We butted heads on a lot of routes. He had his ideas for routes, I had my ideas for routes, and I may have steamrolled him a little bit, but we just weren't really working well together at all. And toward the end, he just decided, like, forget it, I'm not working with you ever again. I can't even stand to talk to you anymore. So I was like, whatever, I don't care, just get lost.
His progress was so fast and productive, and compared to mine was like, at the time, going down the trash. So I made these statements where I was like, I felt like I was getting pushed out of the group. I didn't feel like I was included anymore. And I got into this huge, like, quibble with him. And it turned into this, like, sourness between him and I because of me thinking I was the boss of the whole run along with Rama. Stupid, naive thing to do, because all he was doing was helping, and I felt like he was doing something wrong because of that.
I think we just learned that we had our own visions for Half-Life 2 Done Quicker and where we wanted to see it go. And his really didn't line up with how I wanted it to go.
Goknak was an interesting case because he was like the poster child of Half-Life 2 speedrunning, and everyone loved him, and he was like the big personality behind Half-Life.
There was some drama involved with Goknak, mainly to do with the rule set of the Half-Life 2 speedrunning.
I think it was something that Goknak has said about SourceRuns on stream.
We had a bit of an argument. He was. I can't speak to what he was going through at the time. I know what I was going through at the time. But I think him and I just butt heads, and he said some stuff on stream that was less than flattering about SourceRuns. Me being dumb, I reacted to that about as horribly as you could, and he just decided to part ways.
It was something along the lines of, I might be the only reason that new people are getting into SourceRuns.
So the reason why Goknak left was most likely his own decision, but also some other members were quite fed up with him, and there were some nasty exchanges, so to speak. And yeah, he didn't really feel welcome anymore in the community after that. But
I do sincerely regret the way that I handled that, and you know, like any leadership role, you take these experiences and learn from them and make sure that either it doesn't happen again or learn where you need to grow.
And it gets to a point where you have the community that you come from talking behind your back about you, saying that you're the poster child, and so on. So Jared messages me, says, hey, a couple things. He posts to a timestamp in one of my old streams, like, hey, you're so fucking egotistical, it makes me retch. It was important for me to be able to know when to pull away, and I did, I think probably at the culmination, and didn't let it keep going. Because if I had stayed in and was a toxic punching bag basically for a lot of people, that would have just been terrible for my mental health. So being able to just pull away.
There was definitely a fracture in the community, but pretty quickly we recovered. With the old engine speedrun going on and just all the other projects we had going on, we may have lost some members, but we gained a lot as well. You know, where he left off, people were able to pick up his spot. Like after Goknak left, you know, there was no one really speedrunning Half-Life 2 New Engine until Chili and such came along. And he brought along, you know, a great vibe and a great community, so people were able to refresh pretty quickly.
But ever since then, you know, we made up shortly after that, and we've been friends ever since. I've met him in America, and yeah, we're still pretty good friends today. That's quibble is a thing of the past at this stage.
Nowadays, I don't have there's nobody in particular that I have bad blood against. Nobody on the team. You know, I hope the people that felt those toxic or negative things about me have moved on, and they don't even have to like me still. I don't care.